and can spawn every night if the urge takes them. Although our underwater lights give us a glimpse, we still know very little about what happens on a reef at night. And our unwarranted fears have made it harder to learn. Our attitude to the sea has been full of contradiction. On the one hand, we've revered it. On the other, we've seen it as an enemy, dark and unfathomable, full of dragons and monsters. These monsters of the deep have long been proven figments of our collective imagination. But some believe they still exist, in the form of sharks. How wrong they are. These magnificent creatures predate dinosaurs. Like coral, they've survived several mass extinctions and have played an equally vital role in shaping ocean evolution. Sharks have been roaming our seas for over 400 million years. Fossil records show that thousands of species have come and gone, of which 370 are with us today. They can be found worldwide, with many dependent on coral reef ecosystems for protection and food. As top predators, sharks have influenced adaptation and evolution all the way down the food chain. But contrary to popular myth, sharks are not just instinctive eating machines. Many species exhibit powerful problem-solving skills, and their brain-to-body mass ratio is similar to many mammals and other higher-order vertebrates. So they are as intelligent, curious and social as some of our more favoured animals. They not only possess the 5 senses we do, sight, hearing, touch, smell and taste, but can also perceive electrical currents and magnetic fields. If we're in the water with them, they can detect our presence from miles away. They can monitor the beating of our heart and read our mood. When it comes to humans, they are normally cautious creatures. Whenever possible, they avoid us, with good reason. Every year, over 100 million sharks are killed, the majority just for their fins. Their fins are a traditional ingredient in Asian soup, and their value rivals caviar. The sharks are often finned alive and thrown back into the water to drown. One-third of all open ocean shark species are now facing extinction, primarily due to overfishing. So if there is a killing machine in our seas, it's not them. It's us. No shark is safe, not even the biggest of them all, the whale shark. Up to 15 metres long and 12 tonnes in weight, they're an impressive sight. But they're strictly filter feeders and dine mostly on plankton. Unbelievably, they are also victims of illegal fishing. Whale sharks are not actually whales, but sharks. True whales that visit the reefs include these, the minke. Incredibly, these graceful animals are still being harpooned. What trust they show us, regardless. Before we began to plunder the seas, this is what they were like. Linking the abyss with the surface, layer upon layer of shimmering silver. A big school of fish is a defining image of a healthy sea. It's a show of strength and incredible physiological adaptation. Running head to tail in most fish is a row of scales known as the lateral line. Connected to nerves in the brain, this line consists of specialized cells that are sensitive to water displacement and movement. Meanwhile, fish's eyes are located on the sides of their heads to make it easy to see where they are in relation to one another. So vision helps maintain angle and distance between fish, while the lateral line dictates speed and direction of the entire school. In this way, many fish can move as one and choreograph their own aquatic ballet. Many fish school as juveniles, and around half of all fish species form aggregations at some point in their life cycle. Even fish that prefer their solitude join a school from time to time. Barracuda hunt on their own at night, but hang out in packs during the day for protection and company. With their pointed heads and streamlined bodies up to 2 meters long, they fly in unison through the blue like polished arrows. Schooling makes it hard for a predator to focus on one target and is a great defense mechanism. It's also a force to be reckoned with when it comes to feeding. Few plankton in the area will escape this sweep of open mouths, as these rare filter-feeding mackerel make their coordinated attack. Over the eons, the art of schooling has helped fish in many ways, but now, ironically, it contributes to their downfall. Just one net can collect a ton of fish at once, and over 100 million tons of fish are hauled from the oceans each year. For the few big schools left, it must feel quite eerie, moving through so much empty, liquid blue. These days, one of the only safe places for schooling fish is a marine sanctuary. Whenever sanctuaries have been established and policed, fish stocks have slowly increased, helping to restore biodiversity. A successful sanctuary becomes a precious time capsule, a reminder of how rich the seas once were and could be again. Unlike a zoo, a marine sanctuary has no walls, so it has the capacity to not only replenish the immediate area, but the oceans around it. Because we have individual names for our oceans and have territorial borders, we forget that there's only one system. There is only one sea. Water, covering 70% of our planet's surface, connects us all. What occurs even in our polar regions will eventually affect coral. And conversely, each new marine sanctuary is another powerful step towards saving our seas. And when you consider that the global ocean makes up 99% of the living biosphere of the planet, every step counts. Because reefs are such important breeding grounds for so many marine creatures, this is where a new future might lie. Renewal here is a daily affair and brings with it magical transformation. Here, a coral cod blushes a different colour when wooed by its mate. A thriving reef is an aquatic rainbow. And like the skin of the coral cod, these colours have meaning and function. Silver scales reflect light and allow fish to blend into their watery backgrounds. Bold, strong colours allow fish to recognise their own species in a crowd. Colour also indicates whether a fish is a juvenile or adult, and some fish change colour quite radically as they mature. Once fish are paired up, they can then use body posturing and colour displays to communicate their intentions. A male parrotfish erects his dorsal fin to intimidate other males and impress a nearby female, who happens to look completely different. And all across the reef, fish are on the lookout for a chance to mate and pass on their precious genes. Most sea creatures have short, intense lives compared to ours. For some fish, a few years constitutes an entire lifetime. So every good day on a reef is truly great. A good decade is even greater, the chance for countless marine creatures to live their lives to the fullest and give rise to new generations. In the quest to survive in the